And if you need any lessons on how to cook it, I mean how to cut it, I can show you. So we're gonna do pizzas, and for the pizzas, Sean made the dough for me. He did gluten-free, and then he did regular. And there's some grilled, some baked garlic that you can, and as you roll it out, I'll put your toppings out there too, because you'll put that on later once you get it rolled out. The other station is going to be making your own deodorant. A lot of times people forget about their environment, and you know, like, the average female puts 124 chemicals on her body before breakfast. We're gonna make sauerkraut. Making sauerkraut sounded really intimidating to me before I did it, and then once I did, I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world.
Really?
It tastes so good. Yeah, and then you control what's in it. So you have that as your base, you can add other stuff or whatever, but it's super easy. And you guys are going to take it home with you because it has to sit for at least 3 days. Oh, cool. And then you try it, and if it tastes fermented enough, just leave it a little bit longer. And we're going to chop the actual cabbage head small, and then add all the ingredients. And then you put it in a bigger bowl and you massage it for 10 minutes. Okay, so our main focus here is gut health for this lesson, or whatever you want to call it, your lecture. You guys have like these a pamphlet or a little booklet, and really what I want to talk about is how our gut is very important to our health. And something that we don't realize is that we have like a microbiome going on in our gut, and it can get compromised by antibiotics. And like, so how many of you guys, if you take a course of antibiotics, follow it up with probiotics? Yeah. So like, if you don't, what's happening is that the antibiotics are going in there and they're killing the good bacteria. So you want to balance that, and then take, like, after you finish your antibiotics, do a course of probiotics just to get it back in good shape. But there are other things that can mess up your flora as well, such as, my mom was saying the other day, animal meats and stuff like that. Your diet, eating processed foods, external toxins. So really what happens is if you, your gut is not like in a good balance, you can get all kinds of illnesses. And there's been a lot of research lately about the doctors are seeing that there's a direct connection with your gut and your mind, and your gut and all the autoimmunes, and ADHD, depression, like mental illness. So I mean, it's almost like most of the illnesses that are out there have some kind of relation to your gut, unless you're looking, you know, like heart and that kind of stuff. But that all really makes a big difference on what you eat. So if you want to protect yourself, you want to try and eat as many whole food, plant-based foods as possible. And there's, first I put in a list of like things that are harmful to the gut. Anything you're allergic to. So if you have a sensitivity to something, even if it's like a healthy food, don't eat it, because your body doesn't like it. And if it's telling you it doesn't like it, it's telling you for a reason. And your body could change where later on you might be able to eat it, but you know, you don't want to mess with your system that way. And there's ways that you can find out, like if you have allergies, you can go to a naturopath and they can do like tests, or you could do elimination diet, that kind of stuff. But there's common allergenic foods such as fish, dairy, gluten, corn, peanuts, soy, and eggs. And it doesn't mean that, you know, soy is bad for you, but if you're sensitive to it, then you want to be careful not to have it too much or cut it out completely, or same with corn, you know, that kind of thing. And I think one of the reasons corn is such a high allergenic is because it's GMO most of the time. And it's usually the corn derivatives that are causing the allergies, not the actual sweet corn. So then another thing is avoiding all greasy or fried foods. And it has like definition, there's like, it goes in depth here of why. I don't want to go too far in depth right now because I know everyone's hungry is ready to eat. But you also want to try and have as much organic foods as possible and avoid all GMOs. And of course remove dairy, meat, processed, refined foods. And so when I say refined foods, I mean like anything pretty much that is, if you pick it up and you're like, oh, this is a lemon, this is a whole food, this is real food. But if you, like say you take a potato is a whole food, but if you grab a bag of potato chips, that's clearly processed, even though it came from potatoes. It's a processed food, it's not good for you. And it breaks down very quickly in your body. So same thing as breads, like white bread, even wheat bread, those things are still considered processed. So like I've recently just tried going gluten-free to see if that helps, because it kind of stops me from eating breads. And it does make a big difference on how things are just like processing through, and I do feel a lot better. I guess the biggest thing I want to say is that you can cure most illnesses by your diet, by having a whole food plant-based diet. About 70 to 80% of illnesses can be cured by that diet. If you have other issues that even after eating that like really clean diet, you feel like, oh my gosh, I still have something that's bothering me, or I feel depressed, or I have, it could be a lot of different things. Don't think that it's necessarily your diet. Maybe you're short in a certain supplement, like a nutrient. So go to see a homeopathic doctor or like someone that is more versed in supplemental, like vitamins and that kind of thing. Like for example, I was like feeling weird and I was getting kind of depressed, and so I went and I saw a homeopathic doctor, and she put me on iodine, and it went away like within 2 days. And I found out I was short of iodine. So especially like if you don't eat regular salt, you're not going to get iodine, because I do like sea salt. And so a lot of people, they'll think, well, maybe it's because I'm vegan and I'm not getting enough, certain nutrients. Well, it's not necessarily, it's not that. You can still, you just need to make sure you have all the vitamins. You don't have any shortage of vitamins in your diet. So the things that you want to eat, you want like mucilaginous, oh my gosh, I can't say this word. Mucilaginous foods, so things like flax, chia seeds, those are like slippery elm powder, sea moss, those are really good, and they have mucous membranes, and they help the cell lining of your intestines. And liver tonics such as kombucha, green juice, lemon juice with warm water, that's a really good thing to have in the morning.
What is green juice?
Well, you can make like a green juice, like celery, and that kind of stuff. And then anti-inflammatory foods are really good, like ginger, turmeric, and so that's all listed in here. And a lot of these you'll see repeats, so you'll be like, oh wow, maybe I should really make sure I include flax seeds every day in my diet. And then fermented foods are a big one, like that's why we did the sauerkraut. And you want to make sure that if you're doing fermented foods, you don't do too much all at once, because your body may not be used to it, so just do a little bit and introduce it in and see how your body tolerates it. And also prebiotic type foods like onions and Jerusalem artichokes, and then of course fiber with fruits and vegetables, and all of that. So what I'm going to make, at the very back there's like a checklist, and this most of this is taken from Dr. Greger's How Not to Die, and it gives you like a punch list of things that you want to make sure you include in your diet every day. And you can check them off here in the little green circles. But it's a good way to make sure that you're balanced. And I'm going to do a demo real quick for, how many of you guys do like homemade milks, nut milks at home?
Not on a regular basis.
Okay. Nut milk, homemade nut milk.
Like almond milk, cashew.
All right, so
It's easy stuff.
this is just a real quick
easy.
demo. These are cashews that normally I would just fill it up with water, leave it in my fridge overnight, and the next morning drain it, and then put it in my Vitamix. And it just makes them nice and soft. And I need something to get these out.
So just water and nuts?
Just water with the cashews, and I do raw cashews, organic. You can get them like at Whole Foods in their bulk section. And then you mix it with clean water. And so what I'm making is a cashew cream. So typically, like you'll do, I just kind of eyeball it, that like you could do for 1 cup of cashews, for cashew milk would be like 8 cups, 4 to 8 cups of water. So then you want to make that less for the cream, so that you just put less water in to have it thicker. And then you just mix it. So the Vitamix is amazing. Alright, so the beauty of it is, like with almonds, you have to strain it with a nutmeg, but for cashews you don't have to. You're done. This is it. Like that's your cashew cream right there. And now I'm gonna make it like into a cheesy sauce. The cheese, this is like a creamy cheese, so I just do sea salt to taste. And I know Barb doesn't want a lot of salt.
I love salt.
Oh, you do?
I love salt, yeah.
And then you just do fresh ground pepper to taste. I'm doing a double recipe, so I'm doing double of whatever I have on this right now. It's 3/4 teaspoon of paprika. Then 1 teaspoon of garlic. This is nutritional yeast. Does everyone know what nutritional yeast is? Okay, so you can get this at bulk at Whole Foods. It's it has B12 in it, but it's like a flaky little. It gives it more of a cheesy taste to stuff, so you can even just put it on top of your food.
I just sprinkled some on my pizza.
Yeah.
What are the benefits?
It has B12 in it, and it's like it's a major food that a lot of vegans cook with, and it gives it a lot of nice flavor. And then this, I did 2 lemons juiced. This is 1 lemon here. Okay, so I just added so that was everything. I'm just gonna blend this. This is cheese sauce. Cheese sauce. It's cheese and macaroni. Yeah, you can use this on, I use this on everything. All right, so she's on her way. I'm just gonna heat this one up because we'll use it today like in our food, our veggies or whatever. So you guys can try it. You know, for the grilled veggies, there's a section in there for the dressing.
Oh, nice.
And who knows? Like, I don't know how comfortable you guys are with avocados. I think most vegans are pretty versatile with them. But you just cut it and twist. This one doesn't look so great inside. I'm not gonna see how this one looks.
They're so tricky.
I'll put the not so great one on my pizza if you can use it.
Okay. Yeah, this one looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so then you just like
You can't tell if it's not so great blended up.
stab,
So I wouldn't mind it on my pizza either.
Sharper knife.
stab it and turn. Yeah, it's not a very sharp knife. You take the bigger spoon and you just scoop it out. And that's it. There's your.
Yes, as soon as I find it.
Third one down from the top.
Third one down from the
Oh, you're
top.
on
It's
page.
one
Take
half.
1 page back. One page.
Other way.
Food is medicine.
You said
Yeah.
checklist, so I was like.
No, next page. One more.
Okie dokie.
Food is medicine. Always remember what
Alright, healing fat, anti-inflammatory properties. Avocado lowers cholesterol, healthy source of monounsaturated fatty acids, potassium, vitamin E, Bs, and fiber. Contains 3 times as much potassium as a banana. It also helps fight depression as it contains tryptophan, increases serotonin, which increases serotonin. Folate and omega-3. Omega-3 is an essential fatty acid that helps combat inflammation in the brain and helps regulate our brain's neurotransmitters. Again, that brain-gut connection. Love it. Super food.
That's how amazing that is. What else is listed on that?
We have, well, cayenne pepper is actually one that most people don't realize is as homeopathic as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Turmeric.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Garlic is a tricky one to get the stuff off of, to get the skin off. So I have this little trusty rolly thing that I got in Portland. And you stick it in there and you roll it. and it takes the skin off really easily.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, so then it's 3 tablespoons olive oil, but this is tripled, so that's why it's a lot of olive oil. It looks like a lot more just because I'm doing such a large batch. And then salt. So this is 3 cloves of garlic, but because I'm doubling it, I'm putting a ton of garlic. A lot of pepper. This pepper thing is from Williams Sonoma, and it's really. I added everything: avocado, lime, 3 cloves garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper, and just mix it all up. Then
Got it.
you can start to